Welcome to Half Pence Man Yoga. I'm Allison, your guide. Upcoming is Yoga with a Side of Fun. This is a class I host every Saturday with Good Elephant. Link will be below. And it's all about not taking yourself too seriously. Grab a block, grab some blankets, and let's just get on the mat and have fun. Let's explore and see what happens. I hope to see you there. Today we're just going to start in child's pose. Let's take a moment to just have our feet wide. Let's drop our bum back towards our heels as much as is possible. Maybe make some room for the belly in between those knees. Hands come out long in front of you and sink that head down towards the mat or as close as you can get. Perhaps you prop up that forehead with a block or blanket. Let's just take a moment here, breathing deeply. Inhale in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do that again, in through the nose. Feel your belly button expand, your belly open. Exhale out of the mouth. Empty it all out. Last one, in through the nose, biggest breath you've taken all day today. Fill it up. Exhale out of the mouth, make noise. Okay, now, so just start moving those hips back and forth. As much as is comfortable, don't put any pressure or if there's any pains in the knees. Maybe your head starts going in with the movement. Maybe your shoulders, just shaking it. Imagine there's a little track playing in your head. Back and forth. Back and forth. Okay, this feels good, I hope. And if it's not for you, just stay in the trap. All right, now let's come back to center. In your next inhale, just very slowly walk those hands back. Bring yourself up, hands on the mat, knees are still wide. I'm just gonna take a moment here. Now bring your chest up, look forward. Obviously, if this is uncomfortable for anyways, maybe you need to come up off your knees a bit. Maybe it's better for you if you sit back on your heels and actually come off your knees entirely into a cross-legged position. We're just gonna do a little spine reflection here, kind of a modified or different variation cat-cow. So from here, just inhale, your chest comes forward and you kind of look up towards the ceiling as much as is possible. Don't overstrain. Getting that nice curve in the back. And I'm gonna exhale, we're gonna round that back, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Again, inhale, that chest comes forward, looking up towards the sky, as much as is possible. And on an exhale, we're gonna round the back, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, coming forward, making sure you're not dumping weight into those hands. Exhale, round that back, chin to chest. Once more, your breath, your movement. On an inhale, round it forward. Variation of cow rather. Exhale, belly button to spine, chin to chest. Variation of cow. Great. Now, let's shake that out. And however you want to, let's come to a seated position. I'll meet you. Sukhasana, easy pose. However is comfortable for you. Maybe you take a nice wide leg position. Maybe you want to try them out which leg you want in first. All up to you. From here, just settle in, and maybe you're like, nope, I'm not down with this. That's cool. Just take a moment, sit here, and we're just gonna settle in to where we are. So, however is comfortable seat for you. And maybe you do have a block or a blanket or a bolster such as this, and you can prop those hips up. That's quite a nice way to elevate your hips above your knees. letting your knees and your hips open. That's often a nice, comfortable way to sit. We're just going to sit here for a moment. We obviously started with our spinal flexion, but before we move on, I welcome you to close your eyes or have a soft gaze. We're just going to take a moment to recognize each other in this space, to give thanks for each other in this space, and to give thanks for our teachers and our teachers' teachers going back millennia that gave us this practice so that we can share it together. I'd also like to recognize that I, as you are on lands that did not belong to us originally. I recommend that you look into the native tribes that were on those lands before we arrived. Now, let's flutter those eyes open if they were closed. Let's have a little fun. Okay, if you're seated, maybe you need to switch those hips, or switch those feet rather. Maybe you need to move around. You're like, oh, this is too much. All right, well, let's move a little and then let's work our way up to standing. So hands on your lap. They could be on your thighs, on your knees. From here, we're going to sweep those arms up high. And from here, on an exhale, you're just going to bend over left or right, your preference. Just reaching those arms up wide and bending as much as is possible. On this side, I have a lot of pain in this hip, so I can't go as far as the other side. Make sure you keep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. Keep those arms up, shake it out if they're getting a little much. Keep those fingers active. Inhale here. Exhale, bend over to that other side. Now for me, I can go a little bit deeper into this bend, still keeping integrity in the posture. My back is straight. I'm not dumping over. My hips are still planted into the mat. Arms are wide to make sure my shoulders are away from my ears. Inhaling deeply. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, back to center. Shake out those arms. Ooh, got them up there, got them up there. All right. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, drop that right hand over to the right knee as close as is possible. Might be on your shin if you have a little, something getting in the way here. That left hand comes behind you as much as is possible. This might be enough for you. And your hand, the left hand might just be here on the outside of your hip. But on an inhale, we want to make sure that we're sitting tall. And on an exhale, we're twisting a little bit more. However, as is possible for you in your body. Again, inhale. And exhale. Into that twist. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Great. Now, inhale back to center. Put those arms up to the sky. Shake them out. Keep them active. Keep them going. Maybe give it a little squishy fingers. Inhale, look up. Exhale, twist it over. That left arm comes down as is possible for you. Knee, shin, wherever you can grab hold, making room for whatever you have. Right arm comes behind you as much as is possible. Just maybe on the outside of that right hip, we're all the way behind. On those inhales, we elongate the spine. On those exhales, we twist as much as is possible. If you feel any shooting pains, any tingling, if you're losing any the feeling, touch in your feet, in your hands, come out, come out, come out, until that goes away. Once again, we're inhaling for the leg. We're exhaling for the twist. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, back to center. Bring those arms up, shake them out once more. Shake, 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 shake. Keep them up, keep them up. Keep breathing. And whew, exhale. Relax it all down. All right. Now, however you need to get there, we're going to meet in tabletop for just a moment. Now, if you can't be on your knees for any length of time, that's fine. We're going to do a little work in tabletop, and then we're going to make our way up to standing. So you might want to sit here and do some of the movements with our back, or you can go right up into stand. So very quickly, just coming in to our tabletop. Let's check in. Okay, our hands are planted to the mat. Our shoulders are in line with our wrists. We're pressing into our fingertips. Our hands are starfishing down. Our knees are into the mat. And again, if you're trying this and you're like, okay, this isn't so bad, get a blanket, put them on those knees. See if that helps you able to stay into this position. Feet, tops of those feet, planting into the mat, make a real connection. Our back is flat, like a table, hence the name. And from here, we're basically going to extend our right leg long, have those right toes, I'm gonna move up the mat. My legs are never long, that's strange. Anyways, extend that right leg, our toe is down. And from here, we're just gonna make sure that we're gonna move back and forth on that toe. Really feel the flex of that leg. Really feel the motion of your toes, giving them a little bit of love. We often forget about our feet. They do so much for us. All right, keep breathing. Let's bring that foot back in. Whew. All right, now from here, I'm gonna take that left foot, extend it out long. Do the same, move back and forth. Really pressing into those toes, into the mat, giving our foot a little love, as well as stretching out these legs. Keep breathing. All right, now let's come back to center. Okay, so from here, we're gonna take that right leg out long again. We're gonna plant that right heel down towards the mat. Now, from here, this might be enough for you. You might already be like, oh, my balance is kicking in. That's fine. If you wanna go up to the next step, perhaps we take our right arm and we reach it towards the ceiling. Breathing deeply. Exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, everything come back to center. Whew. All right, now let's do one last thing. Get off those knees. From here, left leg comes out long. We plant that left heel. This might be enough. Our left foot is planted. Our knee and right foot are down. And we are getting, a stretch as well as working on our balance in our core. Now, from here, I'm going to go up to the next step, opening up that left hand towards the sky. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale back to center. Great. Now everything comes in. Now, we're going to do our first downward facing dog of the day. So I just want you to be very conscious of the organic movement to get there. If you're like, I am not down for no downward dog, that's cool. If you are able to be on your knees, just bring your heart down towards the mat as much as you possibly. Drop those elbows, maybe drop that forehead down. Maybe you use a block here for support. This is still inverting your hips, shake out that booty, above your heart. So you're still getting the same effects here of this inversion. If you'd like to, plant those fingertips into the mat just in front of our shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes and very slowly, very organically, we're just going to focus on bringing our hips up towards the sky. That's all I want you to focus on. Don't worry about those heels. Don't worry about any of that. Just make sure those hips get up high. Now, I've got a nice generous bend in my knees. And as I generously bend my knees, I bring my chest towards my knees. I'm pressing into my fingertips to support me. Now, if this is too much, you can obviously get some blocks, raise it up, take some of that weight off of your wrist. And if your back is tingling in any way, take those feet wide. Release some of that pressure in the low back. Keep breathing. Inhale here. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Great. Now, let's have our hands meet our feet in the middle of the mat. From here, just going to bend those knees widely, coming to our first forward fold. Fix your clothes. You need to. Okay. Our feet are wide. Knees are bent generously. We're draping over, our belly resting on our thighs. Now, if your belly is in the way, show you a little trick. Stand up, press your belly in. Use your hands. Bent knees, bend forward, allowing you to get a little bit more space to come down. Folding over those knees. Feet are wide, just let it relax. Head comes down. Now, for whatever reason, if you want to support your hands, you can obviously have them on blocks. You can have them kind of resting on your legs for support, maybe up on your back, whatever is comfortable. Inhale here, and exhale. Once more, inhale, and exhale. Great, now, from here, we're gonna roll up, super duper slow, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up to stand. Okay. Coming in to mountain pose. Now, this is when I wanna turn up the fun factor. I'm gonna take my music and I'm gonna turn it on. Maybe you got a Lizzo going on. Maybe you got your own playlist you wanna play. All right. So we're in our mountain pose. Sorry. All right, coming into our mountain pose. Our feet are wide again, like to make a nice bit of room. Now, if this isn't comfortable, I'll face the camera. If it's not comfortable for you to have your feet wide in your mountain pose, kind of in line with your hips, if it's more comfortable for you to have your feet together, that's fine. You know, often people like to have maybe their toes together and their heels splayed out. That's not comfortable for me because of my generous hip allowance. So I'm gonna take my feet wide, I'm gonna bend into those knees. I'm gonna do a little body scan. So toes, lift them up, drop them down, coming up through my body, lifting my kneecaps, thighs get engaged. Focusing on the center, I'm gonna tuck that tailbone in, draw the belly button towards the spine, lifting my lower belly up through the chest. The shoulders relax, fingertips down towards the mat. Coming in, my chin parallel with the floor. The weights on my fingers, pulling them down. Got my eyes closed, just take a moment here. Get a little sway going. Feels comfortable for me. Got a little music playing in the background, opening up my hips a little bit more. And inhale here. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Make it big. Exhale. Let it all go. All right, shake out those shoulders, chest, shake it all out. Get a little bit of dancing going on. Some stabbing to the background here. All right, let's have some fun. Having fun to me means playing. So I'm gonna grab a block. Maybe you don't have a block, maybe you have books or something hard and sturdy that you can put maybe your weight on. Maybe it's a chair like this you can use to place your weight onto. Whatever is best for you. I'm gonna grab a little block. I'm just gonna have it because we don't know what's gonna happen, do we? So let's have it here. Let's come into our standing pose, top of the mat, as we dance it out. Oh, just notice this is a little reflective. Okay, anyways, let's come back into the room. Top of the mat, feet are planted. From here, I'm gonna take my left leg, I'm just gonna bring it back. You know, take a moment, first of the day. Ooh, balance is a little off. So I'm just gonna check in. I'm not on one line, I'm on 2 railroad tracks. Keeping those feet, for me, that's comfortable to keep a wide stance so I can really feel the balance and I really feel comfortable and I feel strong in this posture. All right, so my foot is planted in the floor, knee over the ankle, up on the tippy toes of that back foot. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, and then I'm just gonna Very, very casually, making sure that there's a slight bend in that back knee, slight bend in that front knee. Keep it. Just pulse a little. Just feeling myself kind of sink in. But it feels like for me to be kind of standing up a bit more and coming down a bit more. Making sure that you're breathing, your pace, your rhythm. Inhaling deeply and exhale. And if you're like, this is too much, that's cool. Maybe walk that back foot in and like that, you can have that back heel on the ground. You can pop it up and just do it here. You know, just feel yourself going up and down, keeping that chest broad. Going to come back to meet each other in 3 and 2 and 1. Ooh, this playlist is loving some Lizzo today. All right. Okay, so from here, what do we want to do? Let's play with a little, oh, I know. Okay, let's take that back foot, so drop it down. We're gonna have that back foot be parallel with the back of the mat. I'm gonna scooch my front foot to have my heel and my ankle in line. I'm gonna once again bend into that front knee. I'm gonna do a little playing here in Warrior 2. Bending into that front knee like we did before. But this time, make that movement of bending and straightening a little bit bigger. So as you breathe, you can have your hands on your hips to give you stability because we are moving. Or if you want them out, you can have them out. Making sure, again, our chest is long. Bending into that front knee and then straightening that leg. Inhale and exhale as you move. Doesn't matter which way. Inhales or exhales can be quick, slow. They can be with the movement of the leg. Inhaling down, exhaling up, or vice versa. We're just playing here, seeing what it feels like to bend into this knee. Inhale and exhale. Back and forth. All right. And maybe you want to get a little funky. Bending down, bending up. You do you. Feeling good as hell. Me and Lizzo. I do love her. She's great. Anyways, back in the room. And we're going to come back to meet Warrior 2. That's that front knee bent. Pressing in that back leg. 3, 2, and 1. Here we are. Back in Warrior 2. Now, this might feel a bit much because we've just been moving. So if you need to, you can come out of that knee just a little bit. Still keep a nice bend or a micro bend in that front knee. And from here, we're going to take our front foot, we're going to turn it towards the edge of the mat. So now our feet are wide as much as is comfortable. Maybe we scooch them in a little if we want to start here. Toes are facing the long edge of the mat. We'll micro bend in those knees. Let's not overstretch ourselves. From here, hands, let's put them on our waist. And again, let's just move our hips back and forth. Again, micro bend in that knee so you don't feel any tingling, like sharp pains. If you do, please stop moving and just come into kind of your superhero pose. I'm just moving my hips a bit. You know, bending in and out of those knees, feeling what it's like to have those legs wide. All right. Maybe you want to be like, okay, I'm good here. Let's bring those feet out. Ooh. I wish you could be in this playlist. Maybe I'll share it. Anyways, okay, we're bending, breathing. Here we are. Coming back to center. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, here we are. Now, my hands are on our hips, but for me, I'm just gonna let them hang. I like it, give it, shake it out a bit. This feels a bit rigid for me today. I'm gonna shake them out. Now, from here, we're just gonna play. Now I'm gonna, with our forward fold, I'm gonna take my block. I'm gonna have it in front of me. I don't know what I'm gonna need it for just yet, but we'll see. Legs are wide. All right, so my arms are down. You can have them by your side. Or maybe you want to be like, hey, I want my arms up. Whatever you're feeling right now, I want you to inhale and look up. Chest rolls to the sky. And then on an exhale, I want you to back flat, bend it forward, however those arms are hanging out for you. And I want you to come into a flat back position with your legs wide. Now, this could be enough for you. Like I'm here, I'm feeling it, my arms are in a good place. I want to breathe into this posture. Maybe you're like, oh, I feel like I could come down a bit further. Okay, keep that back straight, coming that forehead back, that forehead down towards the mat. Maybe this is when you need your hands for support. Coming onto a block to support you, or those books. Maybe you grab that chair, bring it over, coming down. And I'm like, oh, okay. My body wants to go a little bit further. I keep breathing. With each exhale, maybe I get a little bit deeper into this bend. Feet come a little bit wider. Coming down. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. All right. Wherever you are, I want you to just take a moment to remain in that posture, to feel the breath coursing through you. Maybe you naturally come a little bit further down. And maybe if you're like, I feel comfortable here, like today, I'm feeling good here. So I am going to try something a little crazy. I'm going to scooch back so that I'm not falling too far forward. I'm going to plant my hands into the mat. Or if you have those blocks, plant them onto those blocks. And I'm going to just, I'm going to take a deep inhale. And on an exhale, I'm going to push my weight forward into my hands. Maybe my heels pop up off the mat. I'm going to try it again. Ooh, here we are. Okay. Just going to play. See what's going on here with this. All right. Now, if you're here and you're like, I can't be doing that. And maybe your feet are a little bit closer together. From here, just do the same. Just bring the center of your weight forward, coming in, putting your weight more into your toes and into your heels. Keep that micro bend in the knee. We're inhaling and exhaling. And as we come forward, we're just popping those heels up, feeling what it's like to have our weight in our toes. For me, this is harder because I've got my hands up off of the mat. All right, let's wrap up our little play. In 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, now on an inhale, I want everyone to keep a bend in them knees, however wide your legs are, and roll up nice and slow. Okay, so did a little play and forward fold. I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I did. Now, we are going to go towards the back of the mat, little non-traditional movement. So with our feet wide, remember we had our right leg facing forward. This time we're going to have our left foot facing forward. So I'm going to turn my left toes towards the face of the front of the mat, and my right foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Coming back into that warrior 2. So my chest is up. I'm going to bend into that front knee, and I'm going to put my arms up. Maybe they're here. Let's play here. Let's see what it feels like on this side of you today. Inhale and exhale. We're bending into that knee. Inhale, maybe we straighten it as last time. And exhale. Don't lock out that knee though if you're doing a bend. Inhale and exhale. See what it feels like. Do something different with your arms. Maybe when you come up, arms come up. Bending down, maybe they come down. Making a little movement. Little dance. Channeling my inner ballerina. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Great. Now let's come back. Meet each other. In 3 and 2 and 1. Back into that warrior 2. And you're like, I got to get out of this. I am done. Okay, I understand. So we're gonna then need to look fancy. We're basically becoming that lunge facing the back of the mat. So take that right foot and just kind of shake it over. You can see how elegant that looked for me. All right, now take a moment. And we obviously want to make sure that our balance, we're nice and checked in with our balance. Our knee is over our right ankle, up on those tippy toes of that back foot. I've got my hands on my hips. And for me today, this leg is feeling a little bit more stiff. So I'm going to come in a little. Because remember, we want to play here. We're going to inhale and exhale, and we're going to just kind of, again, bend that front knee. up and down, feeling what it feels like. Keeping our breath going. Keep going with that breath. Inhale and exhale. Ooh, yeah, I'm really feeling it. Inhale and exhale. Maybe I'm going to put my arms up, see what this is like. Challenge my balance a bit. Keep inhaling and exhaling. And if you're like, I can't do this anymore, totally fine. Put that foot on the ground and just stand here, and maybe we just bend in that front knee just to give ourselves a little bit of movement in that leg. Inhale and exhale. We're going to meet again together in our version of high lunge in 3 and 2 and 1. All right, now we're facing the back of the mat. How strange. I never look at this wall. Okay, so we're going to inhale. We're going to step our feet together at the back edge, for me, the back edge of the mat, hopefully for you. And here we are again in where we were before, where we started. This is our mountain pose. So let's play a little bit different in this time. We're going to do some playing with chair. So I'm going to face the camera. I'm going to grab my block, have it near me because you never know. And let's just have a moment in our chair. So our feet are wide. I'm going to sit those hips back. And from here, we're just going to lift our toes. Let's focus on, we're going to do a body scan. Let's focus on everything before we are actually in the, I guess, traditional expression of the pose. So our weight is in our heels. Lift those toes, sink those hips back as much as is comfortable. This could be enough for you. It's like, you know, maybe I'll turn just a little seat back. But imagine you're taking your bum into a chair. All right, now from here, we go up through our body. Our knees are in line with our ankles. We can see those toes. I'm going to go, and again, remember that tucking the tailbone? My belly draws in, my belly button into my spine, which means that I naturally, for me, I kind of come up out of that seat a bit to remind myself that that's important. And then from here, I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to put them on my hips today. And I'm just going to breathe and feel this. And if it feels comfortable, maybe you kind of pulse in and out of that chair, feeling what it's like to sit up and sit down. Keep that chest broad, shoulders down, not towards those ears. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, you're like, I gotta get out of this. Understood. Stand up. Okay, let's grab that block if you have it, or a book, or even a blanket is not too hard, but maybe you have a box that's sturdy that you can use. What we're gonna do is pop that in between those legs. You're like, Allison, where are we going with this? This is weird. Hey, that's what it's all about. Have fun, play around. And again, Lizzo on this playlist today. So, all right, because I've got my block in between my legs, obviously my feet are still wide, which I like anyways in my chair. For you, this might be a challenge because maybe you keep your feet together in chair. Fine. Sink back. Now, I'm going to test out something here, which is what the fun comes in. I'm going to see how strong my thighs are pulling together to support me, how tucked my tailbone is, how I'm centering myself in this posture. From here, I'm just going to come up onto my tippy toes of my right foot. How does that feel? Ooh, I don't know, weird. Okay, so now from here, can I, while dumping some weight into my left foot, can I pick up that right foot and just hover it a bit? Oh, maybe I drop it down, touching the toe. Okay, sitting into that chair. Balance. Ooh. 3 and 2 and 1. Ooh. All right, I'm going to take that block out and we'll stand. Shake it out. Now Beyonce's come on. So maybe we give ourselves a little dance party. I would sing, but you don't want that. Okay, block. Back in between those legs. Sink it down. Whew. Check in. We're in normal chair. The chair that we feel comfortable in. Whew. For me, tucking that tailbone. I always got to remind myself. Sinking down. And now from here, a little bit of weight in that right leg, and I'm going to up tiptoes, left foot. Inhale. And exhale. Whoo, I can already feel it. Inhale. and exhale. Now, from here, whoa, this one's hard for me. Lifting that left off the mat. Feeling the balance. Oh my. Play around. See what it feels like. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Whew. Take that block out and shake it out. I'm gonna do a little turn. Oh, man. All right, shaking out them legs. All right, one more thing with our block that I want us to try, or again, books, whatever you have. Let's go back in the chair this time. All right. Put that block right in front of your right foot. Now, from here, inhale up into chair. From here, I'm going to have my hands on my hips, giving myself a nice, good amount of balance, tucking that tailbone. I'm going to hover that foot now up onto that block. And then from here, I'm just going to try to take it off that block and then twist that ankle. Okay, all right, this feels good. This feels good. If you're here, you keep coming down, that's fine. That's where we grow. That's where our body learns what it feels like to balance. And some days I'd be on the floor. I couldn't do this. So we're trying it out. And then if you're here and you're like, okay, I feel comfortable here. I feel like I'm not dumping all of my weight. I'm keeping my chest tall. I'm balancing on this standing leg. Nice micro bend. If you feel comfortable here, take that leg and just extend it out long, pull, chest that balance, and then bend that knee, and maybe you bring it behind you. Maybe you're doing a little movement action back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, if that's, if you're like, girl, please, I can't do any of that. Take that block out of the way. And for you, maybe this is good. Maybe we're just going to touch that toe forward, touch that toe back. Try maybe to pick that foot up off the ground as you move back and forth. Remember to breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. I know that standing leg is screaming at you. We're building balance. We're shaking. Our ankle is like, ah! Inhale. We're coming back to center. In 3. In 2. In 1. Hold. Woo. All right, shake it out. Sorry. That'll be out again, still on there. Okay, other side. And then we'll bring it down to the mat and chill it out. Okay, so block in front of that left or book, whatever you have, in front of that left toe. Again, inhale in to chair, tucking that tailbone, arms wherever they want to be. This time I'm going to challenge my balance, and I'm going to have my arms up. Outside, I need a big old wide beach ball up to keep my shoulders down. I'm opening it up. All right, from here, I'm going to take that left foot. I'm going to play this foot on my block. Tippy toes. Woo! Already falling forward. All right, now from here, I'm just going to inhale a few times and exhale, feeling what this feels like. If this leg is ready to hold my weight, inhale and exhale. Okay, now, okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm lifting off. I'm twisting that ankle, giving myself some time. I'm not dumping into this weight. I'm not doing this. I'm keeping my chest up, my hips, everything's drawing in. All right. I feel like this could be Bollywood, yes. I do love Bollywood. Okay, so from here, inhaling and exhaling. All right, from here, if you feel comfortable here, try that extending out to tiptoes to the front, and then bring it back behind you. Keeping that slight micro bend in the standing leg. Ooh, this is a challenge for me, this side. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. Your breath and your movement. Maybe it's nice and slow, maybe it's faster. And if you're like, you are fucking crazy, I can't do this. No balk. Bending into that standing leg, arms wherever you want them. touch it forward, touch it back. Maybe we hover that foot in between the touch. Inhale and exhale. My leg is shaking. I feel it. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to center in 3 and 2 and 1. Oh dear, 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 dear. All right, I'm gonna shake it out. You can hear my playlist. Got a little Wilson Phillips going on. Those of us oldies. Whew. All right, now I think we've worked up a nice little sweat. We've played a little, so let's come down. Let's chill it out. So you can go to whatever top of your mat you want, back or front, however you want to do it. We're going to come up. We're going to do one quick little sun salve, and then we're going to bring it down. So mountain pose, feet are wide. Then inhale those arms up to the sky. Look up. Say hello, sky. And then on exhale, we're going to fold it forward, hinging at the waist. Arms come wide, or maybe they just come straight down towards the mat. Maybe from here, we're going to stay for just a moment. So you grab that block for support. Inhale and exhale into this forward fold. Relax it down. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale. Great. Now from here, we're going to come into a half lift. Maybe you put that block up onto a higher setting or a higher level, and you flatten that on the inhale, flatten that back out. Maybe you're using your fingertips on the block. Maybe they're on your shins. Maybe you're on your thighs or hips. Our back wants to be flat. Our eyes are out over a cliff edge in front of us. We're inhaling deeply here to feel, hopefully, a bit of a stretch in the back of these legs. Obviously, if you need to, keep a little bend. That's fine. We just want to make sure our back is flat. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale. And exhale, release it all down. Let it go. We're coming into a nice, relaxed forward fold. Now, from here, we're going to take an option if you'd like to step it back and do a knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. And maybe you don't want to do any of that. You want to skip it entirely. That's fine. We are going to meet on the floor in a sukhasana. Easy feet. So I'll cue my version of a knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. My version of the vinyasa. I'm going to plant my hands. I'm going to step my right foot back and then my left foot back. I'm going to take a moment here in a plank, pressing in my feet. Obviously, making sure I'm nice and buoyant on those toes. And then for me, I'm going to drop my knees to the ground. I'm going to leave my feet flexed. I'm going to inhale here. And for me, I'm going to exhale and bring my whole body towards the ground, extending my feet behind me. From here, I'm just going to take a moment. Inhale and exhale. Now for me, I'm going to do a cobra. You can do an upward facing dog if you like. You can skip this entirely. I'm going to inhale and I'm going to bring my chest up off of that, pressing my hands into the ground, and I'm going to look forward. Now, this could be too much for you. That's fine. Why don't you literally just lift the chest, chin off of the ground, and your hands are there to support. Inhale again. And then exhale, everyone drop that forehead down to the mat. Now for me, I'm going to push up back to my knees very quickly. I'm going to tuck my toes and I'm going to push it up into my downward facing dog. I'm going to sit here for just a minute, inhaling deeply and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale. I'm going to drop my knees down to the mat. I'm going to just quickly cross my feet. I'm going to sit back on to my heels and come in a super sexy transition into sukhasana. Now from here, just going to take a moment. I always like to end the class with a little moment of reflection. You might like to do this laying down. Maybe you like to do this in a Supta Baddha or Baddha Konasana, which is your feet are together, your legs are wide. If you feel like your hips aren't open enough to do that, you can always put a block under each knee for support. Or maybe you want to do a Supta Baddha Konasana. You want to lay back and create this shape with your legs. Whatever is comfortable for you. We don't have to always end each class with the more traditional Shavasana. We can take a moment to reset ourselves and to ground ourselves in just a nice, any pose where we're grounded to the floor and we feel like we're grounding into the space. So I'm gonna come out of that Baddha Konasana for me. Today it's not hidden, which I normally love it, but not today. I'm gonna come into my little Sukhasana. And as I said, we're gonna wrap up class. I welcome you to close your eyes, soft gaze. Wherever you are, laying down, sitting up, maybe you're in a twist. Maybe you are still, maybe you want to do this standing. Some people like to be in mountain pose while they're having a moment of reflection and grounding. Wherever you are, allow your breath to return to normal. Notice that your breath is just happening without you thinking about it. And to encourage you to not think about the breath, I want you to think about your body. Did you have fun today? Did you fall over? I hope so. That's part of the fun. Hopefully you had no fear. You get to play around a little. We don't often get to play as adults. I hope that you were able to maybe do something you have not done before. Even if it was, having a straight leg and warrior 2, or maybe it was, lifting your foot off the ground in chair. Maybe I gave you some inspiration to play in your own practice at home if you have one. I want you to take a moment to think about your body. Is there a part of your body that feels a bit more open? Or maybe part of your body is like, oh man, that was too much. That's okay. And then I want you to focus just quickly, not on the breath that's coming from your chest, but on your heart space. Hopefully you smiled a bit today. Maybe you danced a bit. Maybe you laughed at yourself or at me. I don't mind. So does your chest, your heart space feel open, a bit more relaxed? Are your shoulders coming down a bit further from your ears? Do you have a natural smile on your face? And as you're thinking about the practice that you just did, hopefully you've got a smile. Hopefully you're able to experience a little bit of joy, a little bit of fun today. I want you to package that all up. What that feels like right now, hopefully in your body, in your mind. And then when you walk off this mat and you walk out into the world, I want you to take all that and I want you to imagine just you're handing it over to your friend, your family, and maybe, given COVID, you only get to see them virtually. But like me, it's all here and I'm handing it to you through a screen, but I'm still doing it. I'm handing happiness from me, my fun, my joy that I cultivated today in this space. I'm handing it to you. And I hope that you have done the same and you can hand it on. As we end class, let's do a few collective breaths together. Let's inhale in through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Again, inhaling through the nose. And exhale through the nose. One last breath together, and let's make this the deepest breath we've taken after our practice all day. Inhale in through the nose. Fill it up. Exhale through the nose. If it's in your practice, I welcome you to take your hands and place them at your heart center. Maybe they're stacked, maybe they're non-Shinto mudra. If your eyes are open, I welcome you to bring them to closed or soft gaze, whatever feels safe to you. With a slight bow of the head towards your hands in whatever position they're in. From here, I want you to take a moment to express gratitude to yourself, to each other. We all showed up today. We all had fun, I hope. I had fun. And that is so important given the state of the world. I express my gratitude to each of you for allowing me to be your guide on this little yoga with a slide of fun, this little fun practice where we get to play around. And I want to thank you again for joining me. I welcome you then to bring your hands down to your lap or down to your side, wherever you're sitting. Maybe on your stomach if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana. From here, we'll just do a minute of silence together. Allow your breath to be normal, your body to be relaxed in the position that you find most comfortable. And in that minute, as things come into your head, the to-do list that is inevitable after you step off the mat, say, hello list, goodbye list. This is my minute of silence. This is my time to really think about the happiness and the fun. I'll speak to you on the other side. Let's take one more minute together. Take one last collective breath in together. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out. If your eyes are closed, I welcome you to flutter them open. Arrive back into the space. Take a moment to move your eyes around the room, see everything. Move your neck a little, your head a little. Reorient yourself to where you are. We'll close this practice. I'll have my hands at heart center. If you'd like, you can follow me. And again, I express the utmost thanks. I'm going to move my hands up to my third eye. That's in the middle of your head, but we put them, our fingers, our thumbs right between our eyebrows to symbolize the third eye. And from here, I'd just like to say that the student and teacher in me sees, honors, and bows down to that same student and teacher in each of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun.